Hey guys, Mark here from the accounting channel. Today we're going to talk about VAT RTD returns. An RTD return is basically an annual VAT return that you need to do every year and summarizes all of the VAT you have on your sales, purchases and purchases for resale in Ireland, the EU and the rest of the world. It's actually quite a simplistic process if you have your processes set up already correctly. It's very easy to do, but if you obviously haven't been keeping your accounting records properly, it can be a difficult task because you will need to dive into those records again to see where you sold the products or services or whatever. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, to start off, log into ors.ie and you will see a screen for file return. So we click on complete a form online, and here we can select VAT. And then in the next drop down, you'll have VAT3, which is your bi-monthly return, and RTD. That's the RTD is the annual return. And then we'll just click File Return. And it will take you to this screen where you can fill out the RTD details. So you can see here we are filling it out for the 2019 financial year. And if you don't have any VAT to declare, if you've no sales and no purchases, you can just put no trade details to declare. And that basically makes a nil return. Very few businesses will have this though, so be careful when you're pressing that button. Then essentially you have four boxes. They are goods and services, acquisitions from the EU, including Northern Ireland. Then there's goods and services purchased for resale, that's in Ireland, the EU or non-EU. And then there's other deductible goods and services, again Ireland, in EU and non-EU. And all of these boxes essentially ask the same thing, it just depends on where you're selling it or if it's a good or service. So what we'll do here is click yes, okay? And it's really, you're just answering a question, have you made supplies of goods and or services? So if you have made sales, either services or goods, then you'll need to basically populate these boxes. Let's say you're a website developer and you have €100,000 in sales. Your VAT rate is going to be at 23%. So down here, you'll put in the value of the service, excluding VAT. So imagine I charge someone €1,000 for a website and I need to add 23% for VAT on top of that. So ultimately, I'm going to charge the customer €1,230. In this box, I need to put the €1,000 only and not the VAT amount. So the non-VAT amount, the net amount essentially. If you, depending on what industry you are in, if you were in hospitality or restaurants, you'd probably use this 13.5%. And it kind of gives you an indication here, you know, this is the reduced rate. This is the agricultural rate. This is the flat rate addition for VAT unregistered farmers. And then you have exempt and zero rated supplies up here. So it really depends on the industry and you should know what VAT rate applies to your good or service. If you don't, I have done a video on it, so check out my other videos on VAT registration. Okay, now to go down to the next box, acquisitions from the European Union, including Northern Ireland. So this is kind of like asking us, have we purchased goods from the EU? So you exclude all Irish goods and all goods bought from non-EU sources. They really just want to know the inter-EU amount of goods or services that you've purchased. And again, it's the exact same amount. What was the VAT rate that should have been applied had they applied it? Now, in most cases, if you're a business doing VAT returns, chances are that you are self-accounting under the reverse charge mechanism for a lot of VAT for goods and services bought from the EU. So you'll need to just put in the value again, excluding the VAT element. The next box is goods or services purchased for resale. So this is, again, goods. It can be bought from anywhere. So now we're talking about Ireland, EU, and non-EU. So click yes, and again, you get the same boxes. You just put in the total value. So let's say you bought 100 grand worth of goods at 23%, and you might have bought like, I don't know, 20 grand of bread, that's 0%. It'll automatically calculate and say, right, 120 grand of services or goods bought in the year. The last box is other deductible goods and services, again, from Ireland, the EU, or non-EU. And this is the same as the box above, except it applies to goods and services that aren't for resale. So, you know, think stationery, you know, software costs, that type of thing. Anyway, once you filled out this box, all you have to do is press continue, and it will bring you to a signing page where you enter in your RAWS password. Your ID should show up. If you have multiple certs on your RAWS, just make sure that the correct browser cert is loaded, and then enter your password and it'll be all done. And there you have it, your VAT RTD return is all done. But understandably, some people may not know what VAT rate applies to their goods or services or where it came from, and they might need help cleaning up their accounting records, essentially, in order to complete this VAT RTD return. If that's the case, please feel free to contact us. Our website is firstaccounts.ie. Thanks very much.